Happy Solstice! This is my first time ever being on here and joining you guys in this way. So here's to coming out of your comfort zone and taking action and doing new things to reach your goals on the solstice. That's what this is all about. And I hope that you are having fun today. More than anything else, today can be a day of celebration. So what's the big deal about the solstice anyway? Well, we know in our part of the world, we have a lot of light that we can use. That's why celebrations and inspired action just kind of come naturally on this solstice. But it's just one of many times of the year that you can take and utilize to your advantage to make your goals work a little bit better for you. So why not? Is this the only day you could do it? No. Is there any correct or proper way to do a solstice ceremony? Absolutely not. This is about empowerment. And that's why I really wanted to do that today, because there's a very easy ceremony that I'm going to show you that is based on a shamanic ceremony, but it doesn't have to be done in a particular indigenous style. This is not about appropriating another culture or following rules of a tradition. That's not at all what I'm showing you today. But one that I like, a ceremony that's really effective, is called the act of power. You can take any part of this, any part of what I'm going to show you, and tweak it, make it your own. That's what I'm really into about ceremony and ritual. Because what makes ceremony and ritual effective or impactful for our subconscious minds to affect positive change? It's something that we give the power to. It's something that we use in a very sacred way to harness our own intention, because basically that's what you're doing with any ritual, ceremony, power tool. You're just taking your intention and giving it a job, giving it a container, so to speak. And that's what this act of power is all about. So on the summer solstice, we have all this masculine solar energy. People are having parties and campfires and dancing around the fire. And there's no better time to think about, what do you want to create with all this dynamic energy that you've got at your disposal today? So I just didn't want this powerful day to go by without spending some time with you and saying, hey, let's create some good things in our lives today. So with ceremony, like I said, I'm not really about you having to do it in a particular way or from a particular tradition, because we're modern people. We can all be the shamans of our own life. We can create the rules for ourselves because we have tremendous power when we focus our energy, our thought, and our intention. That's what ceremony is very useful for and still very, very relevant today. So here we are. I brought you into my little healing room. I wanted to be outside, but I thought, with the wind, it's kind of breezy here today, and a lot of people are out and the animals are active. So I was like, we might have some sound interferences, and this is my first time ever. So I was going to be really gentle with myself and do it in my comfort zone. So I brought you into my healing room. This is where I do my podcast, and I would love for you to check it out. If you haven't checked it out yet, I've got lots of really cool healing stories, resources, lots of stories about why I changed my name, why I took 4.5 years off from social media, and why I'm coming back, because I have a lot to share with you during that creative time. So my act of power for today, just to be really open and real with you right now, is bringing myself to a comfort level with technology. That's what I'm stepping into and being courageous and being brave about today. That's why I thought, what better day for me to try to do this for the first time ever, since this is not the way that I prefer to connect or engage with anyone. But I've decided, I'm like, you know what? I can change my pattern. I can change my belief system about how I feel about connecting with technology. And even though it's my nature to hibernate and hermit up, and I'd love to connect with each and every one of you taking a hike and having a long talk, or sitting around a campfire and talking about our dreams and talking about what we want to create. Well, guess what? I can't connect with all of you that way. It's physically impossible. So I want to embrace this side of communication and connection, and that's my act of power for today. So what's yours? What's yours going to be for your act of power ceremony? What do you really want to bring forth into reality? What's something that's been just a burning desire in your heart that you want to see made manifest into physical form? Today's the day to birth this, and this is how we're going to do this. So previously, I've done this ceremony lots of times. Anytime I feel like I need to put some oomph behind a goal and do some next level goal setting, I will do this ceremony because it's so simple. You can do it by yourself, or you can do it with a lot of people. The thing that's really cool about sacred ceremony is when you can hold space with others and they can witness your intention, and you can say out loud what you want to bring forth and what you want to manifest and create. There's a power in that when someone can hold that intention for you and witness that as you actually say it out loud. So that's one thing I want to encourage you to do today. If today all you do is write down a goal or speak out loud, this is what I'm bringing forth into the world. These are my goals, these are my plans, these are my dreams. Say it out loud, write it down on a piece of paper. If you do that, that can be your act of power. If you just have time for that, and you don't have to get all shaman-y, so to speak, with it, unless you like to, like I do. I find a lot of joy and a lot of creativity in shamanic ceremony and practice, and that's why I do it. But what I want to call you back to is, if you're like, well, I don't know how to do a ceremony, well, guess what? All you need is your intention and your heart, and you got it. You got what you need. If you're wanting a little bit of a protocol and like steps to move forward on your first one, that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, get present. Breathe yourself into your space. Clear yourself. Clear your space in whatever way you typically do that, in whatever way works for you. But let's just all take a breath together. Here we are. We've been going. It's Friday. All kinds of stuff going on, right? For all of us. And you're on your device. Lots of incoming stimulation. So let's clear all that out now, and let's just be present with each other, and let's connect in with each other. Let's take a nice, big, deep breath. And just feel yourself and where you are. What does your body feel like? Are you holding tension anywhere? Let that go easily. And let's just claim this moment together. The thing that's really neat about setting up a sacred circle in ceremony is that you're saying to your subconscious mind and to the universe at large, you're saying, this is what's happening now, and these are the people that I'm including in this. And this is a closed space for me to claim as my own right now. And the best way to do that is your breath. Lots of other ways. But if you feel like you could use a little bit of clearing, or your space needs a little bit of clearing, I've got a great podcast on that. And you can find my podcast at my website, evangelinehemrick.com. I've got a great episode on how to clear any space. But for right now, just use your breath. Just use your breath to breathe yourself fully present, calm, centered, and awake. And something that I want to point out to you, if you've ever been to an indigenous shamanic ceremony and they've called in the 4 directions, sometimes people will be in a ceremonial circle like that and they hear the directions being called in, the north, the south, the east, the west. What that is, in a really practical sense, is calling in all the aspects of yourself. It's all about what's in here inside of us is out here, the microcosm, the macrocosm, as above, so below, as within, so without. We're just this compressed version of all of life itself. So in those older traditions, the directions really just are symbolizing the adult you the inner child you that wants to come out and play, the old wise you, and the newborn you that's continually birthing and recreating itself. And you can look at it from the emotional side too. Your emotional self, your mental self, your physical body and your physical health, and your spiritual self. Call those all in to be fully present on all levels of your being right now. That's really what the 4 directions are all about, because it's all about us. But a lot of people have been to ceremony and they're like, okay, I'm going through the motions, I'm going in 4 directions, something about the east, I don't know. And it's not about routines. That's what makes ritual and ceremony not effective. When people are doing it from a place of like, I'm a robot, I'm going through motions. No, make it about you. Make it about what is important to your heart. Because that's what I'm thinking about. If I ever call in the 4 directions and set up a sacred ceremony in circle, I'm thinking, I want my emotional self to be here, all my emotions to be centered and clear. My mind, I want my mind to be really present and be here. I'm bringing my physical body for all the healing that my physical body needs. And of course, I'm engaging with the spiritual aspect of myself too. So that's what we do first. We clear, we get present and centered, we claim sacred space, which is something you can do anywhere at all. All space is sacred. So that's how we start. What you're going to need for your active power is you're going to need a few little pieces of paper, and you're going to need 1 large stick that's going to help you. It's going to become an arrow where you're going to manifest your goals, and it's called a life arrow. So next time you're out walking around through the woods, find a large stick, and then you're going to find a small stick. This is going to be your death arrow. I wanted a small stick for my death arrow because I'm releasing my fears, limitations, programs. I'm releasing all of that so that I can accomplish my goal. It's all they're for. Somebody might ask, do you have to use sticks? No, it doesn't matter. It's symbolic of an arrow that you're targeting and planting for your goal. And all it is for your intention. It's just for you to harness your intention. Do you have to do it any certain way? Absolutely not. But what you're going to do when you find your sticks, and I want to tell you the story about this too. When you're looking for things in nature to use to help you harness your intention and manifest your goals, I always try to check in and not be too robotic going through the motions, just like go out and pick up any stick. I kind of like to let the stick pick me. So for this week, every time I've been walking my dog, Shanti, I would look around, I'd be like, is that my life arrow? Is that my life arrow? Nah. I couldn't find one that was really as straight as I wanted it. So I just kept being like, it'll come, because I felt like for my goals and my intentions, I needed something really straight, and I found it this morning. So this is my life arrow for this ceremony. I've used many different kinds, but I found this piece of bamboo outside a neighbor's yard on the curve where they had cleaned out a lot of bamboo, and they had it all nicely cut, and I was like, thank you. This is going to be what I'm going to impregnate into the earth today with my dreams and my hopes and my desires. So what I did with this one is I found some little seeded pieces of paper so that I could be as natural and leave no trace as possible. So I've got little seeds that maybe they'll sprout. You know, I like the idea of more of a gift to the earth. But your larger stick is what you're going to write your goals on. And this is just like an agreement between you and the universe, and a commitment that you're giving yourself of what you're willing to do to accomplish this goal. So you can call this a prayer stick, you can call it a life arrow. It's a manifesting, goal-setting tool is what it is. So I've tied some of my dreams. I did one for moving with ease through technology and communicating and sharing with the world what I want to share through technology, because it is not, I'll rephrase that, it has not been the easiest thing for me. So I'm letting that go. I'm planting a new program for myself that I do technology like a boss, and I can share the good things that I want to share with the world, and I can connect with all of you this way. So that's what I'm going to be planting. And I want to plant my life arrow somewhere that I can see it regularly and I can remember and activate that goal or that dream. And I actually did two. I did one for our home, the home that Steve and I are building. I want to plant a program and a new thought pattern for how easy it's going to be to create the home of our dreams on our new land. So these are my hopes and dreams that I'm going to bury on this day. Do you have to do it today? Like I said, no. Do you have to do it with any certain kind of decoration? You can decorate it. You can make it beautiful. I'll probably embellish it a little bit more. I've got some real tiny little gemstones I might put on it. But I do try to leave things natural if I'm going to give it as a gift to the earth. So let's talk about the death arrow. Don't let that term scare you. It's the death of your limitations. So it's a good thing. It's a positive aspect of the other side of life. So we're going to put to death all limiting thought patterns, belief systems, fears, anything that's holding us back. Take your paper, write what you're releasing, wrap it around your little stick, a stick that will burn easily, hopefully, and put it in something safe. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's just a bowl. A fireproof bowl, a fire pit, fireplace. Be very, very safe with your rituals. So I would recommend doing your death arrow first, but there's no wrong way to do this ceremony. I cannot wait to hear about what you're going to accomplish, what you're going to create today. If you're getting this information for the first time, use this amplified energy practice anytime you want to, anytime you feel like you're ready. And I want to share with you, I did an active power ceremony for writing my book, and my book is done. So that commitment that I made to the universe, I have given my promise, and life has given back to me through my life arrow that my first book is done. So that's something that I'm celebrating now. And so I'm on to my next active power of, okay, now I have to share it. Now I have to share it with the world. So it's wonderful to connect with you in this way. I'll be bringing you lots of different ceremony ideas. And I would love to hear from you how you're doing sacred ceremony and ritual and making it relevant and effective to take days like this where you have a little extra power. Use it. Why not use it? There are times when you're in tune with nature to sit back and be still and recharge and rest. Today is not one of those days, so go do something. Put some effort and action into your dreams today. Have a wonderful solstice and a beautiful weekend. And thank you for tuning in to me.